You ever met a woman that didn't have to say too much, but the whole room shifted when she walked in? That's energy. That's power. Not the kind you show off, the kind you build within. See, men don't fall for faces, not the real ones. They fall for frequency. That vibe that says, I know who I am, I know what I bring. You can't buy that, you can't fake that, you gotta earn that. Most people chase attention, but that kind of woman, she chases alignment. She moves with purpose. Her time ain't spent proving, it's spent becoming. And a real man, he recognizes that. He don't see competition, he sees completion. She ain't his weakness, she's his mirror. She reminds him of the greatness he forgot he had. That's why men fall to their knees before her. Not out of weakness, but respect. Not because she demanded it, because she deserved it. It's like watching discipline in motion, peace, and human form. Her words don't come from ego. They come from grace. She don't argue, she just moves different. She don't chase what's leaving, she builds what's staying. And that's what shakes the ground beneath strong men. Because strength recognizes strength. And when you see a woman like that, you realize this ain't lust, this is legacy. See, the kind of woman that brings men to their knees. She ain't dressed in designer, she's wrapped in dignity. Her worth ain't loud, it's lived. And her power is in her peace. So, to every woman listening, don't dilute your value trying to fit somebody's vision. Don't chase validation, chase elevation. The world needs women who stand tall. So even kings gotta bow to the energy she carries. A lot of people get it twisted, man. They think power lives in how you look, what you wear, how many eyes turn when you walk in a room. But that's surface, that's the reflection, not the real. What really holds power is what you carry inside when nobody's watching. It's the substance, the energy that don't fade when the lights cut off, the vibe that don't break when the crowd leaves. That's the kind of power that moves through silence, that lives deeper than skin, deeper than validation. See, the world's trained us to chase the image, to chase approval. Everybody want to look perfect, polished, picture ready. But real power don't come from filters. It comes from foundation. It's built in the late nights when you talk to yourself, when you face the truth, when you check your soul before you check your reflection. That's the work nobody sees, but everybody feels. A lot of people look good, but they empty. They can attract eyes, but they can't hold presence. Because presence don't come from looks, it comes from alignment. When you know who you are, what you stand for, what you ain't willing to compromise, that energy speaks louder than anything you could wear. You ever seen somebody walk in with peace in their eyes? That kind of calm confidence, you feel that before they even speak as inner substance. That's spirit before aesthetics. You can't fake that. You can't borrow it. You can't buy it. You got to build it. It's in how you handle pain, how you treat people who can't do nothing for you, how you stay grounded when everything around you is trying to pull you off balance. That's what makes you powerful. Not the fame, not the beauty, but the backbone. And when you carry that kind of strength, people see it, even if they can't explain it, they respect it, they feel something real in you. That's why energy is more important than appearance, because beauty fades, but energy lasts. You might forget a face, but you never forget how someone made you feel. The truth is, the surface can only take you so far. You can charm people, you can entertain them, but you can't inspire them without depth. You can't lead with your looks, you lead with your character. You can't connect through perfection, you connect through honesty. That's what people don't understand. Inner substance ain't loud, it's steady. It don't need attention, it attracts respect. When you start valuing what's inside, everything changes. The way you move, the people you attract, the kind of peace you keep, you stop competing, you start creating, you start begging for validation, you start owning your value. You become untouchable, not because you're above anybody, because you rooted. And that's the part that separates the real from the temporary. See, looks might open the door, but character keeps it open. A pretty face might catch the eye, but a beautiful soul catches the heart. That's the difference. That's what leaves a legacy. And the substance means you can stand alone. It means you can walk away from what don't serve you. It means you can lose everything material and still not lose yourself. That's rare, but that's real. That's the type of energy that turns pain into wisdom, loss into growth, silence into strength. People with depth don't talk too much about it. They live it. You can feel it in their patience and their focus and their grace. They don't try to prove they're good people. They just move with integrity. They don't chase love. They give it. They don't flex peace. They are peace. You got to understand something. True power ain't loud. It's consistent. It's in how you show up when it's hard. It's in how you keep your spirit clean in a world that profits off chaos. That's what makes you glow different. That's what separates you from the noise. So yeah, surface beauty might get attention, but inner substance, that earns respect. And respect don't fade. It grows. It multiplies. It travels long after you're gone. That's the energy people still talk about. When you build yourself from the inside out, you become something real rare. You become peace in a world full of panic. You become light when everything else feels dark. And the craziest part, you don't even gotta announce it. Your energy speaks for you. Always has, always will. A woman who moves with purpose moves different. You can see it in her eyes before she even says a word. She ain't rushing. She ain't chasing. She ain't trying to prove nothing. She already knows what she's here for. Her steps are intentional. Her silence got weight. Her presence got direction. She don't just exist. She operates. Everything she does got a reason behind it. Every move she makes connected to a bigger picture most people can't even see yet. See, purpose changes your energy. When you know where you're headed, you stop getting distracted by everything around you. She's not competing with nobody because she ain't moving on the same clock. She's running a marathon, not a sprint. She understands timing. She knows when to act, when to wait, when to walk away. That kind of woman ain't moved by attention. She's moved by alignment. She values peace over popularity. She'd rather build in silence than shine in chaos. You can't shake a woman like that because she done already faced her storms. She's been through the fire and she learned how to build from ashes. She knows the difference between what looks good and what feels right. That's wisdom you only earn through experience. She ain't just strong, she's seasoned. Her strength don't come from ego, it comes from endurance. From all them times she had to keep going when she had every reason to quit. And that's what makes her powerful. That's what makes people stop and pay attention without her even trying. When you move with purpose, you create your own gravity. You pull things toward you that match your energy. The right people, the right moments, the right blessings, they all start aligning because you're moving on your path, not somebody else's. Purpose gives her focus. She don't waste time explaining her vision to people who can't see it. She ain't begging to be understood. She's too busy building. She don't need to announce her plan. She lets results do the talking. You might not hear from her for a while, and then she pop back up with progress. That's her language, consistency. There's a certain calm that lives inside her. She don't panic when life gets heavy. She adjusts. She listens. She trusts her intuition more than the noise. That's something most people don't have, trust in themselves. But she learned that every loss, every delay, every heartbreak was really redirection. So now she walks different. She knows everything meant to find her will find her as long as she keeps walking with purpose. And that's why she don't entertain confusion. She don't argue about her worth. She don't chase validation. She don't need somebody to complete her. She's already whole. If someone joins her path, cool. If not, she's still moving. Because purpose taught her the difference between company and connection. It showed her that not everybody deserves access. Some people love your light until it starts shining on their darkness. That's why she learned to protect her space like it's sacred. Because it is. A woman with purpose. Don't beg for love. She attracts it by being authentic. She don't chase opportunities. She creates them by staying prepared. Her life is proof that when you align your vision with your values, everything else follows. Money, peace, power, all that becomes byproducts. But her main goal, impact. She want to leave something behind that speaks long after she's gone. And it ain't about being perfect. She still doubts sometimes. Well, the difference is she moves through it. She don't sit in her fear. She walks with it. That's what makes her unstoppable. Her strength ain't in never falling. It's in always rising. Every time life tested her, she came back sharper, wiser, more focused. See, purpose gives you a reason to wake up different. It gives you patience with the process. It gives you discipline when nobody's watching. It gives you power that can't be taken because it ain't built on what's temporary. And that's why the woman who moves with purpose don't just survive, she evolves. She becomes the type of energy that shifts room. She inspires without trying. She heals people just by existing. And when you see her, you can feel it. She ain't just living, she's becoming. Every day, every step, every decision is building something eternal. And the truth is, when a woman moves with purpose, the world moves around her. People feel her before they understand her. They respect her before they agree with her. Because deep down, everybody recognizes that kind of rare, the kind that don't move for applause, but for destiny. Self-respect is that quiet kind of power, the type that don't need noise, don't need validation, don't need anybody to clap for it. It's built in silence, earned through struggle, and carried like armor. When you got self-respect, your energy change. You move different, you talk different. You don't chase what don't align with you, and you don't beg for what's already yours. You start realizing you're the prize, not because somebody told you, but because you became it. See, self-respect ain't about arrogance or ego. It's about knowing your worth when nobody else sees it. It's about having standards that reflect your value, not your fears. You stop showing up where you're disrespected. You stop explaining yourself to people who don't listen, and you stop shrinking yourself to make other people comfortable. That's what real growth looks like. It's not loud, it's peaceful, it's steady, it's strong. When you start respecting yourself, you set a tone that the world has to follow. People treat you how you allow them to. And once you raise your standard, everything that can't meet him naturally falls away. It's not loss, it's alignment. You stop holding on to what's breaking you because you finally realize that your peace is more important than their presence. That's when your energy turns magnetic. You start attracting people who respect you because you respect yourself. You pull in opportunities that match your discipline. You stop moving out of desperation and you start moving out of intention. And that's the difference between someone who's just existing and someone who's elevating. People can feel when you got self-respect. It's in your posture, in your eyes, and how you carry yourself. You don't got to announce it. It's felt. You don't need to clap back at disrespect because your energy already tells people where the line is. You don't need to explain why you walked away because your silence speaks louder than words ever could. And the truth is, self-respect ain't something you just wake up with one day. It's built. It's a process. It comes from being broken, from being overlooked, from being played with, and choosing not to let that make you bitter. Choosing instead to rise, to rebuild, to know that your value don't decrease based on somebody else's inability to see it. You start realizing that every time you say no to what doesn't serve you, you're saying yes to your peace. Every boundary you set is a form of self-love. Every time you walk away from something that disrespects you, you teach the world how to treat you. That's the lesson life keeps trying to give. Respect ain't given, it's commanded. And the only way to command it is to live it. You can't fake self-respect. It shows up in how you move when nobody's watching. It's in your decisions and your discipline and what you tolerate. It's in how you talk to yourself when things go wrong. You either move like you believe in your worth or you don't. And once you do, you'll never move the same again. If people with no respect for themselves chase validation, they trade peace for attention. They confuse being wanted with being valued. But a person with self-respect don't move like that. They don't need to prove their worth, they embody it. They don't chase love, they attract it. They don't fear being alone, they protect their space. And when you start carrying that energy, the world responds. People start treating you better. Opportunities start lining up, and your circle starts changing. Not because you got lucky, but because you stopped settling. You stopped saying yes to things that didn't honor you. In that shift, that's where the power lives. Self-respect is freedom. It frees you from the opinions, the expectations, the noise. It lets you move through life with confidence, even when things ain't perfect. You stop needing permission to shine. You stop apologizing for having standards. You start choosing yourself in every room, every relationship, every situation. That's when your energy becomes unshakable. People feel that. They admire it. They might not always understand it, but they respect it. Because deep down, everybody knows there's something magnetic about a person who don't fold, who don't beg, who don't bend out of fear. Someone who stands firm in who they are, regardless of who's watching. That's the energy that draws everything real to you. The kind that don't just look strong, it is strong. It's not a performance, it's a principle. And once you reach that point, you realize the most powerful thing you can ever be is at peace with yourself and unwilling to compromise that for anyone. There's a different kind of power in stillness. The kind that don't move with noise, that don't react to every little thing, that don't need to prove itself. It's the calm that comes from knowing who you are and not letting the world shake that foundation. That's real strength. That's the kind of energy that don't demand attention. It commands it. You can't fake that. You can't imitate it. You got to earn it through silence, patience, and pain. See, most people think strength is about how loud you are, how tough you act, how quick you clap back. But real strength ain't in reaction, it's in restraint. It's in having the power to move, but choosing peace instead. It's in walking away when your ego's screaming to stay and fight. That takes more power than most people realize. A woman with that kind of energy, she different. She ain't running around trying to prove she's unbreakable. She just is. Her silence is her sword. Her patience is her armor. She's learned that not everything deserves her voice. Not every battle deserves her presence. Because when you know your value, you understand that your energy is expensive. You can't spend it on everything that calls your name. Stillness ain't weakness. It's focus, it's clarity. It's knowing that you don't need to rush what's already yours. It's trusting timing, trusting yourself, trusting that everything that's meant for you will unfold in its own rhythm. That's the power of being centered. You move when it's time, not when you're triggered. People confuse stillness with softness, but that's because they don't understand how much discipline it takes to stay grounded when the world's testing you. They don't know what it's like to hold composure when everything around you is chaos. But she does. She been through storms, and instead of letting them break her, she learned how to dance in the rain. She turned pain into patience, heartbreak into humility, and silence into strength. When she speaks, people listen. Not because she's loud, but because her words carry weight. That's what happens when your spirit's anchored. You don't talk just to be heard. You speak when you got something real to say. You move with intention. You choose peace over reaction. And that's what separates her from the noise. She don't move out of motion. She moves out of wisdom. She's learned that power ain't about control. It's about balance. It's knowing when to hold on and when to let go, when to fight and when to flow, when to be fire and when to be water. That's queen energy. That's mastery. It's not about dominating others. It's about mastering yourself, your emotions, your focus, your boundaries, your purpose. People feel that energy when she walks in. She don't got to say she's a queen. Her presence says it for her. The way she carries herself, the way she listens more than she speaks, the way she gives grace, but don't tolerate disrespect. It's all written in how she moves. You can't help but respect it. And it's not that life don't hit her. It does, but she don't let it break her rhythm. She knows every setback's just preparation. Every delay got a lesson in it. Every loss made her sharper. That's why she don't complain. She adapts. She don't fold, she flows. That's real royalty. Not the crown, not the title, but the mindset. Stillness gives her power that can't be taken. Because when you learn to control your reaction, you control your reality. You stop letting people pull you out of your character. You stop letting chaos dictate your mood. You move from purpose, not pressure. You respond with grace, not fear. That's how she stays glowing, even when life's heavy. Because her peace ain't based on the world, it's based on her discipline. And when you reach that level of peace, you start seeing things different. You stop taking things personal. You stop chasing closure. You stop needing validation. You start moving like, if it's meant for me, it can't miss me. That's real power. Faith mixed with focus. Calm mixed with confidence. That's the kind of energy that builds empires without raising a voice. That's the kind that heals others without saying a word. When she walks into a room, people feel safe. They feel seen. They feel the presence of someone who's been through it and came out grounded, graceful, and strong. Stillness and strength together create something rare. That's when a woman becomes untouchable. Not because she's the loudest, but because she's the most centered. She ain't controlled by the world. She's in tune with it. She ain't chasing power. She is power. And once you reach that level of peace, the world don't move you. You move the world. Everybody want attention, but very few want legacy. Attention is quick. It's noise. It's flash. It's temporary. Legacy takes time. Legacy takes patience. It's the difference between trying to be seen and trying to be remembered. One fades when the crowd leaves, the other stays long after you're gone. That's the real difference between playing for the moment and building for the future. See, attention is addictive. It makes you feel seen, even if it's not for the right reasons. It gives you a hit of validation, a taste of fame, but it don't last. The same people who cheer for you today might forget your name tomorrow. That's the game. It's built to distract you from your purpose. But when you understand who you are, you stop chasing noise and start chasing meaning.
The person who's chasing legacy moves quiet. They don't need to broadcast every move because they know real work don't need an audience. They focus on building something that outlives them. Their mindset different. They ain't thinking about likes. They thinking about impact. They ain't trying to impress. They trying to inspire. That's what separates the builders from the performers.
And you move for attention, you move fast, but shallow. When you move for legacy, you move slow, but solid. You take your time, you learn, you plant seeds that don't bloom overnight. You know that greatness don't come with shortcuts. It comes with consistency. You put in the work even when nobody's clapping. You stay loyal to your vision even when it's lonely. And the crazy part, the world won't always understand that. They'll look at you like you're behind, like you're quiet, like you're missing out. But the truth is, you just on a different frequency. You ain't competing for the spotlight. You're building your own light. You're not chasing relevance. You're creating resonance. That's what legacy really is. Something that echoes long after the hype dies down. People who live for attention burn out quick. They spend their energy trying to be everywhere, trying to please everyone. But people who live for legacy, they build slow and they last, so they don't care about being first. They care about being forever. You can't erase the work they put in. You can't copy their essence. You can't fake their foundation. Legacy is built through integrity, through discipline, through staying real when it's easier to sell out. It's in how you treat people when nobody's watching. It's in the values you stand on, even when standing on them costs you something. Legacy don't come from followers, it comes from faithfulness. Staying loyal to your purpose, your craft, your character. You ever notice how the people who truly changed the world weren't the loudest ones in the room? They just kept working, they stayed focused. They didn't argue about being underrated, they just let time tell the story. Because time don't lie, it exposes what's real and forgets what's fake. Attention gets applause, legacy gets respect. And that's what it's really about, respect. Respect for the grind, for the mission, for yourself. You can't build legacy if you keep moving for ego. You gotta move with intention. You gotta care more about what you're leaving than what you're getting. You gotta ask yourself, when it's all said and done, what's gonna carry my name? That answer tells you everything. When you move for legacy, you don't fear getting overlooked. You understand that the work will speak when it's supposed to. You trust the process, not the praise. You value depth over drama, substance over style, purpose over popularity. That's why the ones who move with legacy energy always stand out, not because they're trying to, but because their consistency separates them. Legacy ain't just about what you build, it's about who you become while building it. It's about growth, humility, resilience. It's about the lives you touch along the way, the lessons you leave behind, the example you set. You might never know who's watching you, who's learning from you, who's being inspired by your grind. But that's the beauty of it. Legacy spreads quietly. The truth is, attention will make you known, but legacy will make you remember. Attention will get you the room, but legacy will get you respect in it. And the ones who understand that don't move for applause. They move for alignment. They don't chase moments. They create movements. So yeah, you could spend your life chasing eyes, or you could build something worth being seen. You could fight for fame, or you could work for forever. Because when the noise fades and the lights go out, only one thing stays standing, the work you did with purpose. And that's legacy. Because truth is, real men don't kneel for beauty, they kneel for truth. They kneel for the kind of woman who don't just exist. She inspires existence. And if you ever become that woman, you won't have to ask for loyalty, for love, for respect. It'll come to you naturally. Because when the universe meets a woman like that, even the stars bow down.